there are a lot of Tulsans, a lot of people who don't want this bridge torn down. They want it to be given another chance.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Cox. I'm a lifelong resident in Tulsa and also a student at the University of Tulsa. I signed the petition to keep the pedestrian bridge because I love Tulsa. I love what Tulsa stands for. I love Tulsa's rich history.
That bridge, like so many other sites, is part of the DNA of this city.
Momentum continues to build to save the pedestrian bridge over the Arkansas River as historian Michael Wallace lends his support.
I did sign the petition,
He was on the committee that chose the new bridge.
and I even voiced to some of my compadres on that panel, what if we just kept the old bridge?
I was part of the selection committee that, a few years ago, was formed to discuss a future pedestrian bridge for the city. It was a long process with intense conversations. Connecting the west side to the amazing gathering place is fantastic, and keeping our history, saving our current bridge, is exciting and necessary.
Hello, I'm Steve Wilson. I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That bridge is an absolutely beautiful example of Tulsa history. Where else can you go see such a beautiful thing? Steel girders, steel rivets, heavy wood. It is just a beautiful work of art. It is a treasure.
When I initially saw the new bridge design, I was all for it. It sounded cool, but slowly over time, as it got knocked down to a simple design that's less useful than the bridge that we currently have, it made less and less sense to tear down the bridge that we have now.
Save the bridge. The bridge is literally a bridge to our shared past as Tulsans. This bridge is every bit as historic as any man-made structure in the city of Tulsa. The existence of the bridge visually connects us to Tulsa's earliest days. Moreover, the history of the bridge is intertwined with that of the legendary, if mythic, Muskogee Creek warrior and medicine man, Tuggabajie. In 1904, Tuggabajie granted an easement to the Midland Valley Railroad that allowed the railroad and the bridge to be built on his land, which encompassed much of today's Maple Ridge residential district, as well as the world-renowned gathering place. Tuggabajie's life story is the history of Tulsa. Save the bridge.
Hello, City Council members. My name is Libby Billings, and I am the owner of Elote, The Vault, and Roppongi in downtown Tulsa. I'm also a lifelong Tulsa resident, as well as I grew up at 13th and Riverside. I spent many hours riding my bike along the pedestrian bridge with my brothers and my dad. I am very sad to think that it could be demolished unnecessarily. I think it's really important that we make a recommendation to our mayor to halt the demolition of the bridge. My understanding is that in 2015 there was an engineering study done that showed that it is viable to keep the bridge, and in fact that is going to be less expensive than building a new bridge. If we are stuck on building a new bridge, I think we need to look into what it could take to preserve this piece of Tulsa history. I can tell you, as someone who spends at least 40 hours a week in my historic buildings in downtown Tulsa, I greatly reap the benefits of preserving history down here, whether it's through interactions I have with my customers or tourists that are taking Route 66, or just the relationships I have with people who are grateful that we didn't just demolish buildings like the Vault and Elote to build something new. I strongly feel the same thing will happen, that if we demolish the Midland Valley Bridge, that we'll look back on that with lots of regret, and I'll have to explain to my kids the same way I explained to them why the Zingo can't still be there. It's really unfortunate, and I just don't want us to repeat that history. So please, it's not going anywhere immediately on its own. So if you could please make a recommendation to the mayor to halt the demolition and let us do another study. If we can save it, I definitely think that we should.
While the report identifies various issues with the existing bridge, it also proposes solutions for those issues. Now, a local engineer stated that major cost increases resulted from trying to put in the upper deck for cyclists. Now, how much money could be saved for a single-deck rehabilitation of the existing bridge? Without a further study, it is impossible to say for sure. However, a local engineer looked at the 2015 report, attempted to take out the unnecessary work required for the upper deck, and determined that it is likely the bridge could be rehabilitated for less than 50% of the total of the Gateway Bridge's cost.